Hey everyone, Asura, Battleground of the Fierce, final boss, Dark Visions number 12. I've been testing and refining my strategy for the last half an hour. You're gonna love this, it all comes down to a randomness of LB crystals. Once more, we know the shtick, don't we? So, let's go through the team one by one and see what we're doing. So Bard's base form absolutely doesn't matter. We are going to spend the entire time in his Brave Shift, and as you can see, he's our passive provoke evasion tank. I thought I could do something else with passive provoke evading, not always the infamous Moogle Charm K producers jacket combo, which is pretty hard to get, time limited even. So yeah, I'm using Skull Blade this time around, just to easen up the burden on you guys if you want to replicate the strat. I mean, the strat is going to be expensive nonetheless. I'm using 2 evokers as you've seen, so Other than that, he's got a little bit of damage. I made sure he's passive provoke evading, has 100 evasion stuff, so DPS was secondary for him. And to be quite honest, all he's doing is AR training with Venera, so how much damage will he actually contribute? I don't think very much, maybe 1 million, maybe 2. Next up is Venera, base form purely for a DPS. Now I'm leaving one spot empty. The reason is, what else am I gonna spend it on, right? I'm using her AR chain, which is given to her by Mastermind Zone, by Bards. She has 300 human. She's absolutely maxed out on true dual wield. She's maxed out on attack. There's literally nothing else for her to wear at this point. Might as well leave this empty. And technically I could fit in 10,000 needles, but her actions are very strict, very tight. I do not have wiggle room. This is a super tight rotation on 3 turns. And yes, we are going to turn 3 to kill this boss. Now, I should mention that if you have Solitary Patron Snow, so Near Vision Snow, you can take this fight to turn 5 or even longer. The reason is you can build Solitary Patron Snow for super high spirit or defense, thus minimizing the damage you take. Well, you're gonna take a little bit of damage. However, the gain in DPS is totally going to outweigh the damage you'll be taking and the penalty for taking damage. So what you're technically looking at is a 1 to 2k penalty for taking damage, but probably 10 to 30k increase in damaging score. I don't have Solitary Patron Snow. If I had him, I'd use the strategy I just talked about, going to turn 5 with Edgar, double evokers, with Mastermind Zone probably, and Venera. But I don't have this this very specific unit, so I can't replicate this, sadly. Or what does it? Why replicate? Nobody's done this strat so far, so this is one of my strats I thought about, but I theory crafted it, but since I don't have snow, I have it somewhere listed on my iPad on how to do this, but as long as I don't draw snow for within the next 2 weeks, this strat is not happening, sadly. Anyway, her Brave Shift doesn't really matter other than having 100 physical evasion. That's all we need. These are the abilities, using our mission card. Next up is Last Gen. I geared them for 90% evasion. So far, so good. I've been lucky enough to not get hit. These are the abilities. Now, I'm thinking whether I should take off Call of the Wild. Last Gen is or at least advanced weaponry. Last Gen has always failed his LB gauge by turn 3. I've never had issues and I always overcapped. I might take this off and put on some more, evasion stuff on him. But we'll see. He's also using Riku's Vision Car, by the way. Brave Shift, as we are shifting on the very last turn, we can safely gear this towards full DPS. I'm using a Katana on purpose because we are also using Axe and Cleome for their Katana in peril. So yeah, the usual, I'd say. I'm using Asteroid's projection just because I was missing a tiny amount of LB damage. Asteroid's projection put me right over there. So all is fine, 300 LB, 300 human, perfect. And this Dark Vision's Katana has an absurd amount of attack, so yeah, he's gonna deal a lot of damage. Next up, Cleo Star. I get them for as much LB fill and LB fill rate as possible. They are one of the harder units to get their LB ready on turn 3. So they are wearing some very old things, as you can see. I was struggling to make 6 passive evasion units possible, as you can see. Also wearing luminous gloves. What's also important is the reason why I can equip 2 one-handed weapons is because I gave them dual wield. And they are using X-Star's vision card. Brave Shift, as we are also shifting on the very last turn. We can strictly gear this for DPS. So this is the gear that I'm wearing. Pretty good, pretty good. 300 LB, 300 human killer. Very nice. And funnily enough, they've got more attack than last gen, even though they are EX +1. But that's the advantage of being a true double hand unit. Now, technically speaking, I might actually go for... Oh, you guys know what? I have an idea. I haven't thought about this, but this just came into my mind. I can use Stern's STMR. Indestructible Light. I got this twice last week and I never used it so far, but now's the time to do so. So, where is it? Let's LB damage level up. There we go. We lost a little bit of attack, but we gained 100 chains, so they are now 5x chain cappers, which is obviously the best option here. So 25% more damage. Losing 80 attack is not going to be an issue here. Also, let's save this. By the way, my PC crashed for some reason today. I was playing some Hearthstone. I had some phone calls for work, and all of a sudden my PC turned off. And it was some PCU issue, so good thing I bought my MacBook, because I might actually have to swap to recording onto the MacBook, and you guys can enjoy 1440p videos, but I feel like 1440p videos for a mobile game is a little bit too much. But anyway, here's Terra, base form. She's the only one not passive evading, but we've got ways around that. The other thing is, I've entirely built her for LB fill rate boost, as you can see. I'm at 850 out of 1k, and this is the best I could do. But you know what? I can go to 950. Let's go to 950. Do I have a... Yeah, I do. Let's check. Is there another one? Accelerating power? I don't have that. I'm using these two. I'm missing one Titus to get his STMR for Dream of the Faith. That'd be cool, but I don't have it. Is there another 100 or more % materia? I don't think so. Linked by technique, I don't got that. Or do I? Linked. That was too far. So I don't think... Oh, I got that. That's pretty cool. So we are getting 100 or more LB fill. So we are now at 950. Let's throw away that one and use any of the heroes' vows to throw us onto a full 1k LB fill rate boost. This is going to be fun. Let me quickly save this. And yeah, the rest of Terra's gear is pretty standard, as you can see. The usual evocation stuff. So she's at the 270 Esper damage, 300 Evo, and 205 LB. Next up, our girl Ferris. I still don't have a second copy of hers, but again, she has a full evocation gear with the only exception of a second STMR, using her own vision card. 290 Esper damage, 190 Evo damage, 255 LB. That's pretty good. And the shift form is also evading at 100%. The rest of it doesn't matter. Okay. So I'm gonna make a quick cut and be right back with the kill. Alrighty, let's do this. I think this boss, even though the score is quite low, we are looking at 2.5 billion roughly, plus minus 200 million, 2.5 billion, sorry. It's quick, it's turn 3, nothing really is happening. And the rotation here is very specific. So first of all, we're gonna Für Master from Cleostar for an additional 150 LB fill rate. After that, we're gonna use Spirit Sonata and Ice Baton Blade. I didn't level it up, it doesn't matter, you don't need to. Barret, Brave Shifts. We had to start in the base form so that he fills his LB gauge immediately. His LB, by the way, I forgot to mention, his LB boosts attack and magic by 280 for all allies, but everyone on my team has either 300 attack buffs or 300 magic buffs of their own, so we don't care. But the important part is that everyone gains wind, and wind imbue for 5 turns. Vinera is going to, not Mana Eater, we don't need that. Shadow Serpent, 4 stacks of Mirage. She's gonna Heavenly Blade for her own 300 attack boost and Shadow Cast for 6 stacks of Mirage on her own. Last gen is just gonna triple Gleam for LB fill. And Ferris is going to Saldria's Pirates, Blade of Courage. You're gonna start off with Axstar and send in the rest in whatever order you prefer. And now we are hoping to fill the LB on Terra. We did, perfect, so let's LB on Terra for the LB field. And this is the RNG I was talking about. This might not have worked and I would have had to reset, but since this is a free turn clear, it's a quick one. And we are also looking fabulous on Cleostar for the LB, so we are good. Alright, Vinera shifts back. Her only action for this turn is Marauder's Blade. Terra Brave shifts and gets ready. Transburst, Power Release Fire twice. Ferris shifts back and uses Arrow Cannon. Last gen can just attack, I guess, for a few more LB crystals on Cleostar. Cleostar is going to Assassin's Distance for the AoE 150 Human Killer. Shadowstorm Melodia. We don't care about the Ice Dark amplification, we care about the 200 LB boost. And Ice Baton Blade. So let's do these two first. Oh yeah, Cleostar are ready as well, perfect. And Warrior of Light Bards is going to Raging Winds, Blessed Wind, and Courage to face adversity. Okay. Everyone's ready to go. Let's finish this one off. Perfect. Wind's Wake on Bards and Vinera, last gen Brave shifts and LB caps. Axstar and Cleo also Brave shift and Astral Melody. Terra Brave LBs and Ferris LBs. I guess you guys know the play right now. We're gonna start off with Terra, so she takes the LB boost with her. We're then gonna follow up with Ferris for the wind field. After that we're gonna start off the chain, send in Cleostar and last gen. Alright, so let me do this properly. Send in Terra, 2, 1, send in Ferris. Let's wait for this. Do the macro. Immediately send in Cleostar. Cap. And let's check out our damage. The best I've seen so far was 2.4 billion. Was bad variance apparently again. I'm gonna leave it at that and play with variance for the next couple of days, I guess. Rank 44. I don't think this is going to stay that way, but it's fine for the time being. Alright, that concludes Asura. Maybe I'll find a different way to do this sometime later this week. I'm still having a few ideas for Dark Diabolos. I feel like I can get the most points from that fight. We'll see, I guess. We'll see. But for now, this concludes Dark Visions number 12. I'm still gonna play around with the last two bosses. We luckily capped Odin, so that one is out of the way. But I have a couple of ideas for the last two bosses still. I'm gonna explore them within the next few days. And if I'm getting a way better score, say 3 billion on Asura or 8 billion or more on Diabolos, I will upload these videos, of course. So I hope this was helpful. Best of luck to you guys on your clears, and we'll see each other at the very latest on Thursday for our Ymir trial. So that's gonna be fun. Until then, bye bye.